Hello students, I am Professor Swarnalata from the Department of Management Sciences, PSG College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. Welcome to the introductory session on definition and process of strategic management in the subject strategic management. The objective of this lesson is to make you get familiar with the reasons for phenomenal growth of strategic management, meaning and features of strategy and strategic management, task of strategic management, and the steps involved in strategic management process. Now, let us begin with an anecdote. There were two CEOs of the textile industry traveling together to a resort at Masanagudi for attending the business conference. They enjoyed the lustrous greenery and the bountiful nature on their way. As they trekked towards deep into the woods, they encountered a bison which started to chase them violently. Immediately, the first company CEO took off his bag and was preparing to run fastly. The second CEO commented, "Sir, you can't outbeat the bison and run," for which the first CEO responded, "Yes, I can't outrun the bison, but I can surely outrun you." Got the meaning in the story, students? Yes. This story symbolizes the significance of strategic management, which is to beat the competition and stay ahead of competitors. Today, the term strategy has become a buzzword. Why is it so? Strategic management assumes significant importance for competitive business enterprises today. The last 2 decades has witnessed plethora of changes in the world of business. The business world today is quite different and distinct from the business world yesterday. Tremendous changes have taken place in the last 3 decades, which has made the business environment much more volatile, complex, challenging and difficult to deal upon. So, what are the reasons for the phenomenal growth of strategic management? The reasons for phenomenal growth are changing business policy and government regulations, shift in demographic patterns, technological advancements, customer empowerment, diversifying markets, e-business revolution, global business outlook, need for innovative products and services, recession in economy, cost escalation and scarce resources, etc. Therefore, the business enterprises are fine tuned to gear up and be receptive to these changes in the business scenario and manage them successfully. Strategic management is concerned with planning, decision making and implementing actions which determines an individual firm to excel, survive or exit the business by making the best use of the firm's resources in the dynamic environment. For example, Lenovo, the Chinese computer giant, acquired IBM in China. Tata Nano newly launched the new version of Nano, which is quite efficient and comfortable. LG Electronics India Limited signed an MOU with Maharashtra government to expand manufacturing facility at Pune for ₹900 crores. Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited is now planning to expand its range to 800 megawatt supercritical power projects. The oil-based corporate SR Group sold its holding and exited Vodafone. Tata Steel entered a joint venture agreement with Iranian Mines and Minerals Industries Development and Renovation Organization. In May 2011, IT firm iGate completed its acquisition of its mid-sized rival Patni Computers for an estimated $1.2 billion. Asian Paints signed a deal with SS Products Private Limited to acquire its front-end sales business for an undisclosed sum in May 2014. The 7-year-old Bangalore-based domestic e-retailer Flipkart acquired the online fashion portal for an undisclosed amount in May 2014. Sun Pharmaceutical Industries Limited acquired the Ranbaxy Laboratories in December 2014. So, what do these examples illustrate us? These examples illustrate how organizations react to business environment and adopt suitable course of action to manage their business successfully. Decisions regarding upgradation of product mix, Acquisitions, mergers, joint ventures, diversification, etc. are taken by the top level management. In simple words, strategic management deals with long-term decisions taken by top level management, which gives overall direction to the firm for achieving its goals and objectives. Business environment has become more volatile, and this has kindled the strategic thinking at all levels of business organization. Strategic management supports the organization to plan business strategies and implement them successfully in order to fulfill the organizational goals and objectives. It paves the way for the firm to attain competitive advantage and face the tough global competition. Therefore, the ultimate purpose of strategic management is to help the organization increase its performance through improved effectiveness, efficiency and flexibility. Having seen about the importance of strategic management, let us now look into what is meant by strategy. The term strategy is derived from the Greek word strategos, meaning the art of the general. It is the art of employing all elements of your resources to accomplish your objectives. Alfred Chandler defines strategy as the determination of the basic long-term goals and objectives of the business firm and the adoption of these courses of action and the allocation of resources necessary for achieving those goals. In short, strategy is goal-directed, long-term plan of action meant to fulfill the organizational goals and objectives, taking into account the firm's key strengths, weakness, environmental threats and opportunities. So, from the definition, it is now possible to identify the features of strategy. As we all know, strategy is a long-term plan oriented towards future to achieve the organizational goals and objectives. Strategy leads to a solution aimed at actions to fight the problems or challenges and difficult business situations. Strategy is proactive and anticipates changes and yields out measures to overcome them. Finally, strategy is concerned with efficient allocation of all resources in an optimum way to maximize the efficiency and productivity of the business firm. Now, let us see how strategy is different from tactics. Strategy is a long-term plan, while tactics is a short-term plan developed in the organization. Strategy is formulated by the top level management, while tactics are framed by the lower level management staff. Strategy formulation requires careful thought process, intuitions, analysis and risky decisions, while tactics are formulated based on the directions from strategies. Having come to see about strategies, now we will move on to the levels of strategy. Strategy operates at different levels. The first level is corporate strategy. It is the top level decision making and covers decisions dealing with the objectives of the firm, acquisition and allocation of resources and coordination of strategies of various strategic business units for optimal performance. The nature of strategic decisions are value oriented, conceptual and future oriented. The second level of strategy is business strategy, which operates at each strategic business unit level, wherein each SBU formulates its own strategy to achieve its goals and objectives within the purview of its resource availability and business environment. The third level of strategy is called functional strategy. It involves decision making at each functional department and activities involved in it. They are tactical decisions which are supported by corporate and business strategy. Risk involved here is less and has short time horizon to achieve the goals and objectives. They have low flexibility and high adaptability. The bottommost level of strategy is operational strategy, which involves actions relating to various sub-functions of a major department. This is the stage where strategies are formulated and implemented with the support of operational workforce. So, once again to repeat, the four levels of strategy in hierarchical order are corporate strategy, business strategy, functional strategy and operating strategy. Now, let us proceed with what is meant by strategic management. Many experts have defined it in different ways. In simple words, strategic management is the continuous process of examining the business firm and its environment to meet the firm's long-term objectives of adapting and adjusting to its environment through manipulation of opportunities and reduction of threats. Having defined what is strategic management, let us see what are the characteristics of strategic management. Strategic management involves anticipating the future events and changes in the business and preparing to change through proper plan of action. It deals with analyzing the changes in the business over long run. It is a continuous process and therefore regular and continuous feedback from implementing the planned strategies can help in assessing the impact and then taking suitable follow-up actions. Strategic management is a systematic and rational process as it involves logical thinking, careful analysis and systematic procedure to design strategies and implement them. It serves as a keystone for integrating all the functions and activities in the business and facilitating better communication and coordination of individual and group activities in the firm. As strategies are long-term and future-oriented, dedicated commitment among the workforce is ensured to implement the strategies successfully. It helps to develop and establish valuable assets for the firm and skills among the workforce in such a manner that they are superior to their competitors. Lastly, it aims to produce quality products or services capable of satisfying customers better. Now, let us see what are the benefits of strategic management. It allows the business organization to be proactive rather than reactive in planning for the future. It provides the firm to set clear goals and directions for the individual employee to focus, direct their efforts and strive for achieving organizational goals and objectives. It leads to competitive advantage for the firm and makes the firm successful in its business through improving the organizational efficiency and effectiveness. It improves the morale and motivation among employees and directs their efforts towards achieving organizational goals and objectives. Strategic management results in financial benefits to the organizations in the form of increased profits. Finally, it helps to overcome environmental risk and uncertainty by anticipating changes and taking corrective actions. Coming to see what are the limitations of strategic management, it has its own limitation. It requires complete and continuous scanning of the business environment, which is very difficult and time consuming process. So, timely and continuous monitoring of business factors is a laborious task. If it does not provide contingency plans for meeting any unforeseen situations in the business, it will fail to produce the desired results. It is not always possible to make correct forecast, especially on a long-term basis. It fails to deliver the expected outcome if the workforce is not properly motivated and committed to changes in the business environment. It ardently requires the participation from all levels of the organization and a seamless alignment of individual actions with the organization's strategy to fulfill their goals and objectives. Now, having known about strategic management, now let us see who is a strategist. Strategists are those individuals in the organization who are familiar with the business environment and design suitable strategies needed for achieving organizational goals and objectives. These people may be corporate planning staff, senior managers, SBU level executives, middle level managers, executive assistants and outside consultants. In an organization, the strategists include all the people who influence an organization's overall strategies like the board of directors, the CEO, various managers, business consultants, financial investors, and even those in middle management positions. The duty of the strategist is to view organization as a whole, to understand the business difficulties and to make strategic decisions in the purview of the management philosophy, business environment and efficient utilization of organizational resources. Coming to see what are the tasks of strategic management. The strategic management process can be described by a number of tasks to be undertaken by the organization. The success of the strategic management process lies in carrying out these tasks successfully and efficiently. The 5 important tasks of strategic management are: number 1, developing a strategic vision and mission; number 2, setting objectives; number 3, crafting a strategy to achieve the objectives; number 4, executing the strategy; and number 5, monitoring the performance and taking corrective actions if any. These 5 tasks can be effectively accomplished through 4 steps in strategic management process. So, what is strategic management process? Strategic management process is based on the belief that organizations should continually monitor internal and external events and trends so that timely changes can be made as and when needed. Strategic management process should aim at basically answering 4 questions: who are we, where are we now, where do we want to be, and how do we get there. Answering these 4 questions can help the firm to understand its existing situation and to design suitable strategies. Now, let us see what is strategic management process. Strategic management process is basically the domain of top level management, and the process involves 4 basic components. The first component is environmental scanning or strategic analysis. The second component is strategy formulation. The third component is strategy implementation, and the final component is strategy evaluation and control. Coming to the first step, environmental scanning. Let us see what is environment scanning and why is it so important. Environment scanning refers to analyzing internal and external factors in the business environment that may affect the organization. It enables the firm to identify and understand its strength, weakness, potential opportunities and threats which will influence the business performance. It helps the firm to make informed strategic choices about the future of the organization. Therefore, this analysis involves analyzing the 2 components, namely micro environment and macro environment. Let us now see about micro environment. Micro environment is otherwise called as internal environment. The analysis of the internal environment of an organization involves investigating the company's business policy, nature of customers, workforce, competitors, suppliers, investors, marketing intermediaries and government department. The analysis of the mentioned components can help the firm to pinpoint the strengths and weakness of the organization and identify the unique skills and resources that give an opportunity for the organization to improve its competences and performance. This internal analysis can result in competitive advantage, leading to superior efficiency, superior quality, superior innovation and superior customer responsiveness. For example, the competitive advantage of Reliance lies in its vast financial resources, technological upgradation, talented workforce and diversification of business. Therefore, internal analysis will help to reveal the strengths and weakness of the firm, which in turn can be used to formulate suitable strategies and to make best use of resources and capabilities. Now, let us know what macro environment is. Macro environment is otherwise referred to as external environment. It is the analysis of the external factors like political, economic, socio-cultural, technological, legal and ecological factors. In short, the factors are in the form of acronym PESTLE, where P stands for political, E stands for economic, S stands for socio-cultural, T stands for technological and E for ecological or natural factors. This external environment analysis will help to primarily identify the strategic opportunities and threats in the organization's operating environment. This comprehensive internal and external analysis in environment scanning is known as SWOT analysis, which will support in providing a realistic understanding of the strengths, weakness, opportunities and threats for the organization in relationship to its environment. After the first step of environment scanning, the next step involved is strategic planning and formulation. It involves making strategic decisions concerning the organization's mission, philosophy, objectives, policies and methods of achieving organizational objectives. Strategic decisions are inbuilt into a strategic plan, which is a standard document specifying the actions for improvement and defining who is responsible for the overall implementation of the plan and for achieving the slated organizational goals and objectives. Therefore, strategy formulation is an important step to enhance the organizational performance and build competitive advantage. After strategy formulation, the next step involved is the strategy implementation. Strategy formulated in the second step in the form of strategic plan is taken for implementation. It is concerned with putting the organization's planned strategy into action. It involves making a variety of managerial decisions concerned with resource planning, allocating responsibility to individuals, ensuring communication and control mechanism and so on. It also requires educating the workforce about the change process, developing unified culture and discipline among them. The strategy implementation is the most difficult element of the strategic process. Unless it is implemented properly and effectively, even the most innovative and well formulated strategy will create little benefit for the organization. Therefore, strategic implementation calls for the union and synchronization of the principal internal elements of the organization such as technology, structure, leadership, human resources, information and control systems and so on. Now, the last step involved in strategic management process after strategy formulation is strategy evaluation and control. It is concerned with evaluating the performance of the implemented strategies to check if the outcome of the strategy has enabled to achieve the organizational objectives. Strategic control involves comparing the predicted results to the actual results. The deviations, if any, are noticed and corrective actions are taken. Thus, the progress of the implemented strategy is monitored to check if it is carried out successfully. Hence, strategic management process comprising of 4 steps is dynamic and continuous process requiring change as and when needed. To sum up, we have now discussed about the reasons for phenomenal growth of strategic management, meaning and features of strategy and strategic management, task of strategic management and the steps involved in strategic management process. Hope you had a good learning experience and understood the dynamics of strategic management in business today. See you again in the next module on internal and external business environment. Thank you.